Life is bigger than football, bigger than sports in reality. And here at Sports 360 AZ, we want to talk all about it and give our advice to young high school football players and athletes in general. Welcome into a new AZ Audibles. I'm Sandy Charles, and I'm joined by Devin Henry and Eric Sorensen. Gentlemen, advice to high school football players, but in reality, this can go general too to all athletes. So you have a football player pull you aside and, hey, what's the best advice? Eric, what are you going to tell him?
I'm going to break this up into younger players and older players. Starting with the younger players, two things. Hold yourself accountable and also control what you can control. Yeah. When you step on a high school campus as a freshman, you're a little fish in a really big pond. That is your time for you to stand out. Stand out to your teammates, stand out to your coaches, stand out to faculty, everyone on campus. And it's so important. We can't say enough about getting good grades, but it's also how do you handle yourself when no one is watching you? Because when you're on campus, there's a lot of eyeballs, and the head coaches and assistant coaches always seem to know what's going on. As for the older players, I would say show leadership. And this doesn't necessarily have to be on the field on Friday nights. Be the first one out at practice. Be the hardest person that's working in the weight room. Because you can be an All-American in other things besides just on the field. Be an All-American on the practice field. Be an All-American in the weight room.
I want athletes to look at how hard you are grinding every single day on the field. Take that same mentality, take that same work ethic, and put it into the classroom. What's sneaky about this is that some of the intangibles, some of the characteristics that leaders and great football players have can not only be showcased but improved upon inside the classroom. Leadership, responsibility, discipline, work ethic, self-confidence, adaptability. And on top of that, one day for every single person in this world who plays football, football will come to an end. Whether you are 50, whether you're 60, whether you're 18 years old. But this is something that you can work on and build upon now that's going to benefit you the rest of your life.
How important are grades to being an athlete and beyond?
Oh, it's super important. And the worst thing is to fall behind when you're a freshman or a sophomore. It's much more difficult to bring a GPA up. If you get in the classroom and you do your work early in your high school career, it's only going to pay dividends as you become a junior and a senior.
I tell athletes, and it's weird, don't let your grade point average make you stand out in a negative way. There's going to be so many athletes with a 3.5 to a 4.0 GPA. Don't be that kid with a 2.5 because that's going to make you stand out in a very negative light.
And in talking to coaches, when college recruiters come to campus or they pick up the phone and call and ask about a prospect, the first thing they ask is, what's this kid's GPA? That's the reality of the situation. He could be the most exceptional football player on the field, but if the other half, the more important half, isn't taken care of, he's not recruitable. It's all about your legacy. You can create your own legacy without being a star on the field because a lot of these kids that aren't starters, they may be backups, but they are great leaders. The head coaches and assistant coaches are going to remember those players and reference those players for years to come.
What do you think about social media? And I only ask because I recently had to have a discussion with my younger brother who's about to be recruited for baseball and other sports, football as well. And I had to have him clean up his social media. It was just, I was like, if a coach sees this or if anyone sees this, they might, get a little afraid. So how much of social media is impacted with these kids? And what do you think? What do they need to do? Let's give them tools to how they can be better on social media if they need to clean it up. What do you think?
The most simplistic way for me to explain it, it's like having a typo on a resume. The coaches are going to look at your social media, and if it's filled with things that they're not in favor of or that make you sort of a questionable character, they're probably going to stay away.
I have a very easy correlation here. Take that social media post. I want you to show that to your dad. His reaction is exactly probably a better reaction than what you're going to get from a coach, a fellow leader, a boss, anything like that. Take that to your dad and show it to him and see how he reacts. And that'll let you know if you need to delete that.
If you are doing all the leadership stuff in class, you're also going to be a great leader on the field as well. So gentlemen, this was fun. As always, another AZ Audibles. For more, head to sports360az.com.